Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nisa Day, and in today's video what I'll be doing is developing this character. I've had this character for a while now. It's a blue alien character I developed when I was creating my course for the Domestica, but I really want to refine the character because I felt like she is too human to be an alien. She has a lot of human features. In fact, the only alien features that she has is her blue skin. Everything else is very human. So I really want to develop a character to make her look a little bit more alien than she does. So I'll be using this sketch that you have here. It's one of my drawings that I've done a while back. So I'll be using that as my first starting point to decide the direction where I'm going to go with my alien. I also have some other references that will be shown later on, and if you want to see my references for this character, you can go on to my Pinterest and find my board called Alien. It has all my references there, and yeah, so the main thing I'm trying to achieve in this sketch is to make sure that my character looks less human as possible. So this is the first sketch I have some ideas in mind, like the color of her eyes, and like things that I really want to change are oblong head, and obviously I'm using the reference that you see on the left. So right now you can see that this is the first portrait that I drew of my character, but if you can see that she is very human looking, and the only thing that makes her look not human is the skin tone. So I really want to remove that and make sure that she looks more alien than I've drawn her first. So I'm obviously going to reference the colors and some things that I still like about the hair the image, like the hair. But yeah, right now I'm just exploring design features that will work for my character. And yeah, I decided to do this because I have a conceptual idea, like a thematic scene in my head to do in regards to this character, and I felt like she needed a lot bit more design exploration before I actually work on the scene. So that is why I thought it would be a good idea to quickly develop the character a little bit better. This is probably not going to be a final design, as character design can evolve over the years. And yeah, I just want to try something new and hopefully better than I did before, and hope that it looks good. And since I started creating characters, one thing I discovered is that it's better to take your time to develop the character than to just draw the first thing that comes to your head. Explore different things, different shapes, anything, just to see what works best for that character. If the character is inspired by a story already, then it might be easy to develop the character. But if you're drawing the character from you don't have any story, you're just trying to create something, then I just encourage you to explore fun ideas. Just take it fun and slow, and you don't have to rush anything really. I mean, the first time I drew this character was about a year ago, and I'm still developing the character now. And so actually, if it's a personal character, you have all the time in the world to develop it. And if it's like a character for a client and you're developing the characters, usually they give you a lot of time to develop the character. You are not expected to create a perfect looking character in one sitting. You're always encouraged to experiment with the character and see what works best. And that would be my advice for you if you are interested in character design, is that don't be too attached to one idea or to your first thought. Try different things, and you probably realize that your exploration will lead you to a better design. And in this case, the last sketch was a lot better than the first two. Obviously I drew very quickly and like the shapes don't look perfect, but my focus really was to just bring out the colors and the big shapes and just know how my character is going to look when it's actually finalized. And in my final drawing is a little bit more refined in detail, and I combined a lot of the things that I liked in my first sketch to the last one, and that's what you're seeing right now. And you can see that I'm referencing some other drawings that I've seen on Pinterest and just using that to create a new character for myself. So just a quick backstory, well, not really a backstory, but just a quick story of like this character. First of all, her name is Blue, and I decided to give her that name because when she came on Earth, she did not know the language that we speak, but like when people first discovered that, they described her as a blue monster. So she just kept that name, Blue, not the monster part, but she kept the blue part. And people were not really nice at that time. Let's say she came back in the 18th century. People were really not nice to different looking people, and they were not accepting of. They just saw her as a monster. The treatment that she got from humans made her really, really scared of human beings. And it's after that, because she couldn't go back to her home planet, like it's just like a generic alien story where the alien comes down onto Earth by accident and is stuck. So we'll say it's the same for her, that she's stuck on Earth and she can't really go back to her home planet. So she really has to just hide in the forest, in the woods for years, and just play with the animals, play with things around her, just try and keep herself sane. And about maybe 4,000 years later, that is maybe 3000 AD, so 1,000 years from now, the Earth changed. There was a big asteroid that landed on planet Earth, and it just changed your civilization. And the asteroid is like a magical asteroid, and it just changed your civilization. And now we have mutants, we have people with magical powers, and just things that you see in the fantasy world. So the Earth has changed now, but she doesn't know. She has lived in the Earth for 3,000 plus years, and she's not even aware that things have changed. She's still hiding. She's still hiding in the forest, playing with animals and just trying to keep herself sane, not realizing that everything on Earth has changed. So the scene I'm creating is a scene where she was discovered for the first time after the Big Bang, so to say. So after the asteroid landed on Earth, so she was discovered for the first time, and now she's terrified and she's scared for her life. She's a very gentle soul. She's not really a fighting person, so to defend herself is not something. I'll say that maybe I don't want to say she's a sport brat, but like she's not a warrior, she's not a fighter. So the fact that she was found just terrified her the most. But lucky for her, these people are used to seeing aliens, mutants, like nothing surprises them anymore. So upon seeing her, they're actually very welcoming and nice, and give her a long story about what the Earth is right now. And yeah, that's all that's going on in my head, and that's the whole backstory of this character that I've had so far. Obviously, I need to develop the character a little bit better, and I feel like developing the character design, because obviously I'm just working on the face now, but I decided to focus on the face because I feel like that was the main thing. I still want her body to look quite human, and maybe she's flat chested and maybe she has some like design in her chest, but because the I'm not really the chest is not really going to show in the scene that I have prepared, I don't really want to focus on the character design. I also want her legs to fade into a gold flaky kind of leg, so it looks like she has gold flakes on her legs and like scales. I don't know, it's something I'm trying to develop, because in my first portrait she had a gold necklace and a gold dress, so I really want to keep that golden effect and that golden look in her character. So I think it would be nice to have that for her legs, but things can change and I'm not sure how that's going to look. So I'll probably do a full character design later in the future, and I probably will give her tattoos, but I'm not sure about that. Like, she's still a work in progress. She doesn't have a specific permanent design. So even though I'm doing this to work on my cinematic scene, she might still change. Her character design might still change later in the future. But this is what I have for now, and I'm really excited to actually, bring this whole idea into the cinematic scene and see how the whole cinematic scene will look. I am not used to doing cinematic scene, and I like drawing things in portrait mode, so it's really nice to explore landscape and the cinematic ratio, and I'm just really excited to see how that turns out. And I hope you guys like this character as much as I do. She's definitely one of my favorites. All my characters are my favorite characters, but she is definitely not my favorite. You guys already know my favorite if you've been following me for a while. Ember, of course, is my favorite because I draw in every single, as often as I can. But she's like a forgotten character that I really want to go back into, like exploring her story, her design, and just see where things go with her. And I feel like there's so much potential to explore when it comes to her story, her design. I don't think she'll be like a main character in any story that I create in the future, but you never know. Just because the character is not a main character doesn't mean that you can't work on perfecting their design. I feel like character design is very important for every single person that is going to be, addressed in the story, no matter how, even if they're villains or sidekicks that you probably see once or twice. It's always good to pay attention to those details because people really appreciate a good character design. And yeah, she's almost done. Right now I'm just adding the details. I decided to give her some horns, but like the horns are not really like, they're kind of like flimsy horns, like flexible horns, if that makes sense. So I have some ideas that it might not look as I'm describing in the image I'm drawing right now, but I have some thoughts in my head that when it comes to doing the final rendered drawing, I'll be able to remember those things and actually implement it into my rendering. Like I said before, this is just like a rough sketch that I have in my head, and it's something that I want to explore. And yeah, she doesn't have clothes for now because who needs clothes? She'll probably have clothes when she decides to live among human beings, but she's lived in hiding for so long that she doesn't need clothes, and that's how I'll keep her for now. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks. Just really happy with the old design, and I'm happy to explore the final drawing. And it's almost done now. We still have 4 minutes left in the rest of the video. I don't have much to say and I'm getting tired of talking, so I'm just going to stop talking here. You can watch the remainder of the video, and yeah, I'll just say goodbye for now. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I just want to say a big thank you for watching to the end. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye bye.
I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it.